Hello guys, how are we doing? This is Alex Spence, self-realised renunciate monk, coming live straight from in the middle of a cornfield. Just gonna keep these locations coming, I think, man. I hope we're well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whatever time you watch this video, I hope we are well. Okay, today I just wanted to talk about, the fifth dimension and all these fifth dimension terminology that keeps getting thrown around, and I just wanted to sort of, I don't know, express my views on it, just to see if anyone sort of like agrees, or see what you're all thinking about this sort of transition, sort of like this evolutionary shift that the world is going into. I think I always look at things from within, and I always try and avoid any projections to the outside world and this kind of stuff. And it's sort of like I had a conversation with a lady who I was speaking to about the fifth dimension, and she was almost getting quite agitated in the respect of she wants to be there. She wants to be in the fifth dimension. And I think whatever this transition we're going through, and I think we all know that the world is going through some kind of transition. We can see everything that's going on. We can always, and you know that it's more like not what we can see what's going on, because a lot of it we see, to be fair, is media related, and we have to take a lot of that with a pinch of salt. But there is something in the air. There's like you know that feeling just before the clocks go back from autumn to winter. You can just sense something in the air. Like there's just, it's hard to sort of say. It's hard for me to express it. But I think that's the best way to sum it up. I think anyone that we always talk about being, when you're in tune with sort of like, you become sort of like really in tune with the earth. When you come in tune with yourself, you become sort of more in tune with the earth. And you can almost feel its heartbeat, feel her heartbeat. And I was talking to this woman about how she wants it to be in the fifth dimension now. And I think to myself, my take on this, like the transitioning into the fifth dimension, is it's almost like an evolutionary, how evolution moves. It's a moving forward, just from basically how we monitor our thoughts, and how we monitor our decisions about about our view of the world. And everyone's saying how when we get to the fifth dimension, there's going to be so much love, and there's going to be no war and all this, so there's going to be peace. And I think to myself, you right now you have the power to achieve that. You have the power within you, with just the way you think about how you approach the world and your decisions. You have the power to to change your external world so it is peaceful and loving. And I think whatever this transition is that we're taking, I think the more decisions you make like that, the more loving and forgiving you become, the more you're etching towards, you're sort of like joining the fifth dimension evolutionary wagon, shall we say. Hope this kind of makes sense. But I think you'll all probably agree it's a fact of, we all feel something's going on. We all feel a transition. And I think depending on how locked in people are to sort of like this earth realm, the further they are away from sort of evolving into the fifth dimension. I don't think it's just beautiful really that the world is sort of ready to shed its skin, and when really all sort of like good will always conquer evil. And like it's almost like it just feels like that. It'll always have the upper hand. Like nature will always sort of win. And I think it's whether we as people decide to sort of follow nature And the more in tune we are with ourselves, the more in tune we come in, the more we in sync we are with nature, the more you'll evolve to the fifth dimension. And when it comes to right here, right now, everyone has the power to sort of change their external world to peace and love. I don't know about you, but I've actually seen this happen. I've seen it change from sort of really negative mindset to a really positive one. You can be I remember being stuck in hatred or just really sort of punishing myself and punishing others internally. And I was really fearful because of the anxieties that was going on. And it's when I started to because of that, I was confronted with so many sort of angry situations. I was confronted with so many fearful situations. And it's just, I was sort of locked into that mindset. And I remember really there was such a pivotal moment when I made such a declaration to change my thoughts. So I was like, I'm almost tired of this now. I'm just going to sort of like make a change to be more loving to me, be more loving to everyone. I think it's sometimes a shame now that it's almost like not a natural state of being. If you talk about sort of love and being loving to yourself and others, you can almost get people sort of like turning their nose up at you and stuff. I think that's why, say, people who think like that, who pursue this as their goal, enlightenment, the fifth dimension, fifth dimension enlightenment, it's all sort of intertwined. And I think it is a shame that we're a minority, but that seems to be just the way it is. I think everyone, like I always say, everyone's making their own evolutionary transition. But I think sort of the fifth dimension is achieved just from decision, just from like your total decision and declaration to be loving to yourself, loving to everyone at all times, no matter what. And I think whether you think about a fifth dimension or whether you think you feel that, I think it's still a fantastic way to be in the world. And there's no rush to get from here to there, because we all have that power now to transform everything, and it's just really cool. This is just something I've witnessed in my own life about how I've adopted my thought processes, how I've changed them, and how it's always changed my external world. And like I think I always say about how I've lived life in real extremes, and how I'm really sort of grateful for that, because I always have the comparison. So I think the fifth dimension is it's going to be a fantastic thing. I can feel it in the air, like I say, like evolution is going this way. I think it's just if you feel like you want to transition into this sort of fifth dimension, you want to go to this sort of like higher vibrational area, you just have to, it's almost like you have to become that. It's like, I always think to myself, I want to be the person I want to meet in the street. If that makes sense, I want to become that person I want to bump into. And the more loving you are, the more forgiving and sort of like caring you are, you'll bump into more people like that. And it's like and little by little, that sort of like evolves and keeps going. So just fantastic. Okay, but this is me. This is just my views on the world. I just thought it would be cool to see anyone's comments, to see what they think about like the fifth dimension, how they view of it. And just always to look at things in such an awesome spotlight, Look at where we are. Look at the earth that we're on. Look at what we're given. Just how awesome is all of this, man? Well, okay, so that's my piece on the fifth dimension. Hope it all sort of like, I see this is just my views and opinions, but please share, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on all of this, about how you feel about the earth and where it's going with this shedding of the skin and vibrational energy levels. And right, okay, I'm going to leave that now. This is Alex Spence, self-realised renunciate monk, coming straight at you from the middle of a cornfield. How beautiful is this, man? Okay, have a fantastic day. God bless and peace out.